Welcome to Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics, doing a triple upload tonight. Or that is, this morning, if you're living in the States. I am still in Jakarta, Indonesia, but I will be leaving in a couple of days. And you'll see where I'm going in a few days. It'll be pretty exciting to talk about where it is that I'm going. Tonight, we are talking about behavioral differences among spirit people who are dead or people living upon what we call the astral plane. So you are watching Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics, where we talk about this kind of thing, a lot of it spiritual, metaphysical, hate to say it, new agey types of subjects. And some of you all like this type of thing, so that's why I work in this field, because this stuff affects everybody, because we're all going to die someday, and the best that we can do is piece together bits of information from our experiences and from books and try to get a good idea about what the heck is going on. So, why am I Googling people partying? Because, first of all, if you're a bit new around here, you should know that I do out-of-body experiences. I had a peak era of like 2014, and then it petered off a bit in 2015 and 2016. Lots of OBEs, sometimes at the max, like 3 times a week. And in these experiences, I would be in full waking, lucid consciousness in other realms, basically interviewing and talking to people. And I have, since that time, also lost my father, my mother, and my brother. So all my closest family is now passed away, basically through addiction and alcohol-related issues. And this is all in the last couple of years. And but I have then been in contact with all of them to further find out about where we go when we kick the bucket, which leads to a lot of the work I do in this channel and the books I write about, things like that. So I've noticed something on my own journey which concerns the behavioral differences of people living on the Earth-like astral dimension compared to this side. And that's something I'm going to touch on a little bit. Before I go any further, though, if you haven't yet done so, I'm not going to ask you to please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, share the video, hit that blue notification bell if you like what I have to say, because that's the only way to keep this channel relevant and surviving the YouTube algorithm of death. And there is no YouTube afterlife. Channels that die, they just stay dead. So to continue. So what I've noticed is that people who are living on the other side, they are sometimes engaged in behavior that you won't see as commonly in the kind of the day-to-day grind on this side. So yes, people are a lot more jovial and happy, and there's a lot more partying happening that I've seen, but it's also like there's this higher level of, I guess we could say, uninhibited behavior. So on this side, it's like we drink some alcohol if we want to get into this uninhibited state. But it's almost as if this is occurring naturally on that side. There is much less of a filtration happening with consciousness, and whatever somebody is feeling or thinking internally, it's just coming out all the time. So I've seen some odd stuff even in my own family. So as an example, I sometimes see my brother on the other side, but not my brother who passed away, my living brother, who is a bit older than me. I don't think he'll ever watch these videos, so I don't mind talking about him. But I know he also astral projects. I learned about the concept of going out of body because of him a long time ago. But he leads a very stressful life. He doesn't socialize much. He barely talks to me anymore. He's very isolated. Has a wife, has a house, but he's always been a pretty distant guy. But when I was much younger, when we were young together, he had a lot of hobbies. There's a lot of fun stuff he used to do. So I saw him back, when he was a kid, when he was a teenager, when he was much less inhibited, and basically always involved in hobbies, having fun, and of course, I really miss that side to him. When I go out of body, I see him on that side in kind of this place where everybody in my family hangs out at. He is in this life. I mean, he's pushing 40, but on that side, I mean, he looks like he's about 17 or 18 years old. Sometimes I catch him like playing video games. Whatever the case might be, it's like he's a kid at heart. Still is. He's bogged down by all this mental clutter in this life. But over on that side, he is back to being how he is at heart, which is a kid having fun, plays games, does sports, all the stuff I remember doing when I was, much younger than him. Maybe I was like 10 and he was 18 or 19. But even at that age, I remember, how different he was. But then something changed. But on that side, it's like he's back to being that old, uninhibited self, and much more emotionally expressive than he is here. The same with my father. But my father, his mind was always all over the place, a bit paranoid, a bit negative a lot, stressed out a lot, things that drove him into his alcoholism. On that side, again, much less of a filtration mechanism in place. He seems to just be bouncing off the wall a lot. Hard to keep up with him. He gets very expressive. Always wants to like hug everybody. Sometimes to a persistent, if not slightly obnoxious level. Again, far fewer inhibitions. Lots of stuff on the inside always coming out. And this doesn't always all mean love and happiness. My mother, she has sometimes, on this side, she had a lot of pent-up anger and hostility about things that frustrated her. Encounters with her on that side have not always been positive. I've had fights with her. I've had her get offended about silly stuff, kind of like a hairpin trigger. Again, almost exhausting to deal with sometimes, but a personality that is a lot more sort of like in your face and powerful than it was here. Then just meeting strangers, again, you have this kind of unfiltered, uninhibited personality that comes out. A little bit like people partying or drinking alcohol on this side seems to be a natural state of existence on that side. And then throw actual substances into the mix, because on the astral side, I've seen people smoke tobacco, drink alcohol, and actually take drugs like hallucinogenics. Throw that into the mix, and then you can imagine just how crazy people can get. So, in case you have some idea, in case you had some curiosity about kind of closer to what it's like on that side, interacting and socializing with people, we'll tell you it's a lot more interesting than it can be here when people are kind of in their true forms, I guess. And again, yes, lots of parties, lots of crazy stuff always happening on the astral side of Earth. Most other people who have had or have done out-of-body types of work, astral experiences, they can usually testify to something very similar as that. And that's one major behavioral difference that you'll notice on that side. And just a heads up, once you're dead, you might want to know these things. Probably requires a bit more patience sometimes to deal with people, especially the more histrionic personality types, because once they're on that side, they're all over the place. Well, that's some more information out there to digest. Let me know what you think in the comments below, or what your interactions with people in the so-called spirit world have been like. If you like this kind of stuff, you can check out my books like Understanding Life After Death, The Afterlife and Beyond in the channel description down below. If you click the Show More button, you can check out afterlifetopics.com or become a supporter of this channel. You could enroll in Afterlife University to help keep me fed, keep the videos coming, and to eventually expand this channel, put some budget behind what could be some maybe bigger productions down the road. But I need budget, I need sponsors to help with that. If you want to sponsor the channel, then in exchange you get access to the university classes, which now at this point, many archive classes of big discussions about complex subjects like this, and you can participate live from your computer twice a week, and that's $30 a month. If you want to get involved, it's afterlifetopics.com/university, or just contact me here or on Facebook. And that's it. I'll see you guys on the next video.